We will be exploring the intention of material. The local project is the Taylor Center for Performing Arts by Pfeiffer Partners. The international project is the Wimbledon Music School by Hopkins Architects. Let's begin with the local project. It is in Calgary, Canada, and was built in 2016. This project looks at exploring the rigidity and flexibility of materials. On the walls and roofs are corrugated metal rain screens with copper finishes. The corrugated cladding wraps around the building, showing layers and tones of the material. In the lobby and hall spaces, the linear orientation of materials continue, but with more variation. Along the walls, we see the copper material oriented diagonally, and the linear lights along the wall reinforces that. There's also corrugation in the mesh panels on the balcony railing with rectangular cutouts. The repetition of the linear patterns create simple surfaces but bring attention to the material. The sense of rigidity continues in the rehearsal space. They've continued the panels from the wall to the ceiling. The material is emphasized with perforations and rigid linear patterns, paired with lighting from the opposite wall to show the copper in different tones as the light hits. The wooden floors complement the warm tones of the copper here as well. In this section, we can see that the performance space is enclosed in a rigid box. Basically, everything leading up to the performance space is of rigid character. In the performance space is where materials will be used more flexibly. The most prominent feature is the insulation hung from the ceiling, inspired by the Alberta wild rose. It is made of cherry wood, curved linear pieces. The wood material is used along the walls as well. You can see the black steel structure where the walls are set back to create more differentiation. We can see the layering of these elements in the exploded axonometric drawing. After that, there is the use of curved mesh panels. Again, in this space, the warm tone brings out the properties of the material. Moving on to the next project, Wimbledon Music School by Hopkins Architects. It's in London, UK, and was built in 2018. This project looks at emphasizing materials in the modular sense. The exterior is cladded with handcrafted bricks and clay tiles. The roof is very modular. The triangular designation of the clay tiles alternate between diagonally and rectangularly laid tiles. The simple yet intricate design celebrates the material of clay. Entering the building, we see the continuity of the exterior brick. We see the exposed glulam structure and the square glulam panels in the ceiling. They've used plain floor tiles so that it does not distract from the materials, and it also promotes light in the space. In the rehearsal room, there are triangular ceiling panels. The windows are also modular around the outer perimeter of the room. They've used wooden floors inside to add to the unity as well as to bring out more warmth of the material. In the performance space, the same triangular modularity is seen. They've designed slits in the material to give more interest and break down the modularity even further. There are structural cables that do not take away from the materials used in the room. The backdrop is a brick wall with some bricks purposefully removed to give the brick wall more interest as well as to add modularity. The structure of this project was embedded into the building design. It's made of glulam and joined by steel connections. From the interior, the structure is exposed and inlaid with timber panels. This entire portion was also engineered to provide best possible acoustics. We see the modularity further emphasized in the site plan sketch by the architects, as well as this interpretation of the massing and the elevation. Now it's time to choose a winner for the intention of material. The winner is the international precedent, Wimbledon Music School by Hopkins. The display of materials in the modular sense was extremely successful in this project and really showcased the materials elegantly. The handcrafted brick and clay tiles shine through in a subtle way. They've also made it so that the structure is part of the design. And that's the end of this comparison. This is Chen. Thanks for listening.